Hey everybody, welcome back to Board Game Blender, or welcome for the first time if you haven't seen our show before. If you haven't seen our show before, by the way, or you're not up to date with all of the episodes, well, go back and check them out, because you don't have to watch them in order. You can do whatever you want to. Anyway, today we are talking gaming on the go. Talking about games that work well at conventions, how to transport your games, how to package your games, games you can play while on a date. All sorts of stuff. So hopefully you'll enjoy the episode. Sit back, relax, watch these however you want to. Watch them in order, switch them up. Just have a good time and have fun. And here we go.
Hi everybody. I'm a big believer in being prepared. And as a gamer, that means I always want games on me just in case. But let's face it, in our hobby, portability isn't always a key factor. So my solution to gaming on the go is a Go Box. And the first factor in a Go Box is the box. Personally, I use these great Ultra Pro deck boxes. They're plastic and the lid kind of latches, which helps keep the contents secure, dry, and uncrumpled. They're also inexpensive, lightweight, and small enough that I can slip one or two in my bag easily. Of course, use whatever works for you. I love this awesome Commander deck box, but it's a bit bulky. Or you can always just repurpose a box from a game you already own. Maybe one that's hideously oversized for its contents. Now, when selecting games for my Go Boxes, I have three things I consider: player count, variety, and portability. I want a selection of games that ensures I have a game option whether I have 2 or 5 players. And since you can never fully predict who you're going to have at the table or what your game mood is going to be, I want to make sure I have some lighter fare and something with a bit of meat. And of course, the portability of components is critical. Basically, anything requiring a board is out. And any games that have components that can be shared between them is a bonus. So today, I'm going to show you what's in my Go Boxes right now, and I'll even offer up some alternatives here and there. Sail to India gives a great Euro feel in a small package. Using the cubes as ships, goods, and trackers is clever and component efficient. The Builder's Middle Ages uses workers with different resources printed on the cards, making this game a portable powerhouse. Valley of the Kings is called up by Zee. This is a great deck builder that rises above many others. It plays well at 2 to 4 people, and it feels complete as is, i.e. no expansions necessary. Kigi. I love having an abstract on me, and when that abstract is beautiful, plays 2 to 5 well, and is comprised entirely of a deck of cards, it's a perfect fit for gaming on the go. Roll For It is a great lightweight game that plays a wide player range. Bonus, you can use the dice for other games like Liar's Dice. Red 7 offers quick gameplay with a unique feel. Call it my quirky Go Box game. No Thanks is a go-to filler. It's accessible and quick to play. And if you've got the builders in your Go Box, you can use the coins from that game and ditch the No Thanks chips. Sushi Go is a cute and fun drafting game. But keep an eye out for the best treehouse ever when it releases, because that game's replaced Sushi Go for me. Coinage uses pocket change and a single card. This is a no-brainer for gaming on the go. Here's a quick peek at some of those alternatives. They're all great for gaming on the go. And don't forget to save room by downloading the rules to your smartphone or by printing out small quick reference cards that you can find for a lot of games on BoardGameGeek. Are Go Boxes what you would bring to game night? Probably not. I mean, that's a great time to bring the big old IKEA bag or tote box full of games. But when you're out and about and you want to be prepared for those opportunistic gaming moments, why not try a Go Box of your own? What would you put in a travel game box? Let me know in the comments, because I have a new deck box and it needs games. See you next time.
Gambling, rolling dice, gaming, running, little kids running, go, gaming on the go. Why didn't you just say that?
Hello, friends of the blend, and welcome back to Retro Board Game Corner. I got a game for you here. It's called The $6 Million Man, The Bionic Crisis, published in 1975 by Parker Brothers. Don't let the big box fool you. This really isn't a very big game. Let me show you. Hey, where did it go? That's right, I already packed it away for my business trip. This is it. And even the bag is too big for it. In this 2 to 4 player deduction game, you are trying to repair Steve Austin's broken circuit, which is depicted on the circuit card, which will be held by your opponent on your left. To start the game, every player will get a circuit card. Also, they will be dealt 3 cards. The cards are numbered 1 through 40. Every turn, you will draw a card and either play a number or play the number that is on top of the discard pile. So for example, if I wanted to know if my circuit was number 36, I would lay down the 36, tell 36 to the person on my left. He knows all the answers, and he will either say yellow peg. Yellow peg stands for the circuit is 1 away. Red peg, which is I got the right answer, or white, which means you're way off. Play will continue until somebody can connect a 10-hole pattern on your circuit board. There is also a card that says any number. When you play this card, you don't put it in the discard pile. You just put it in front of you and name any number, and that person has to tell you what the answer is. At any time, you can guess your 10-hole pattern. But remember, if you were wrong, you were out of the game. Play continues until somebody gets the right answer. Out of all the $6 Million Man games that came out during that time, this is one of my favorite ones. You don't need that much space to play this game. And it folds up, just like I said, perfectly in your Ziploc bag. Perfect for a game on the go. Well, see you next time. I gotta go. Oh yeah, and may your rolls be high.
For this episode's Under the Radar segment, I'm not taking a look at one game, I'm going to take a look at a genre of games. Oftentimes, when I find myself traveling, especially traveling to, say, family, and they're not really gamers, or I'm visiting someone and I know they're not gamers, there's one genre of game I might take with me and I might gravitate towards because a lot of people understand trick-taking games. Trick-taking games have been around for many, many years, and most people have played one game or another in the trick-taking genre, and so I usually will take a trick-taking game with me. Now this you see here, this is about half the trick-taking games I own, so right there you can tell I'm a huge fan of the genre of trick-taking, and so I might bring along one of these games. I think it's great for gaming on the go. I think it's great for visiting friends or family or people you're not sure might be into games at all, because trick-taking games as a type of game is very social, and most people don't even see it as a geeky kind of pastime. It's more of a let's hang out and enjoy conversation while we do something kind of activity. And so from the stack, I would take something simple. So right away I would eliminate a few things, like this. Chicken, or however you pronounce that, is a very good game, but a very tricky one to figure out. So I get that out of the way right away. I would probably get out of the way the Dwarf King here because of the special rules and everything you have to figure out. For us gamers, it's very straightforward, but I'd eliminate that one right there. Out of what's left, this is a little tricky, though an amazing trick-taking game. So if you have a trick-taking game, if you haven't heard of this one, I highly recommend you check that one out. But it's a little funky. It's got several steps going on. From what's left here are my recommendations first. Little Devils, great trick-taking game, no suits, extremely straightforward. You can play a big group. Everybody should be able to figure this one out. And it comes in a nice tin. It's going to protect it on your traveling. Good stuff. At the top of my list for traveling trick-taking games. After that, I recommend Diamonds. A little bit tricky, but beautiful. A little bigger also. I think you'll have success with this one. I think it goes over well. The cards are standard, which is has a really nice sort of entry factor. No one gets spooked by, whoa, these cards they're weird, right? Or they're numbered strangely. This is a regular deck of cards, basically. And very attractive. This should bring people around the table. Besides that, I recommend Black Spy. There we go, which is very, very similar to Heart. And I recommend, lastly here, Fünfgurken. A little bit harder to find, but a really neat game, very simple. If you want pretty much the simplest game, the one that almost plays itself, really, this is the one. It's about the conversation. It's about the hanging out with people when you're playing this one, not necessarily the game. But hey, I've had great success with this little game. And so there you have it. There's a bunch of these as well. Master Rules, no, get it out of there. That's really complicated. You know, it's weird stuff. The other ones, yeah, Potato Man, David and Goliath, Compañeros, hard to find, but good stuff and easy. So there you go, trick-taking games. You're not sure what you're getting into gaming-wise. Trick-taking games typically are a nice way out of that. You know, bring one or two along. Many people all over the world play trick-taking games, or at the very least are aware of them. And so I highly recommend these games as a genre when you're traveling. All right? So there you go. Thank you, guys. And I will see you on the flippity flip. Boop, 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 boop.
Welcome, friends of the blend. This is Anya the Nerd Girl here with Gaming with Others. This show shall tend to focus on group gaming of the adult and college demographic. I'm going to talk about in this episode how I progressed with my gaming storage and transportation solutions. Initially, I was really into card games like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Vanguard, Pokemon, and the like. I used to use these kinds of drawstring tote bags or messenger-style bags to transport them. These were really good solutions for that, where generally you only need to carry a few decks, maybe some card sleeves, and that was about it. But, well, every high school and college kid has some variant of a backpack around. I went with this hiking style, which has a really big innard so it can hold larger games. This held me up for quite some time. But then I noticed a couple of problems. One, I could only usually fit one or two big games. And after that, it just didn't work. So I saw a friend one time use a suitcase. I started using a suitcase for at least 2 or 3 years, copying them, because the front section, well, that can have your card games. The innard section can have at least 2, and they're generally speaking come on wheels nowadays. The problem with this is, as my game collection got larger, I found that even suitcases were limiting. A couple of factors. One, they weren't really designed for games which are tend to be in box shapes. Also, they're not waterproof. Since most games are held in some form of a cardboard container and not perfectly sealed, I was walking through a rainstorm one day and got my boxes damaged. I don't know about you guys, but that really annoyed me. When you have a $50 or $60 game covered, completely obliterated by water, it makes you wonder. So I started wrapping all my things in garbage bags, and it just looked like a mess. Then I said there had to be a better way. And what I found was these tote-like containers. You can find them at Walmart, Target, or any other type of big box retailer. Generally speaking, they go between $6 and $20 depending on the size and style. I like the ones that have nice convenient lips and also sealable lids. I do still, after the water fiasco, tend to keep my games in plastic baggies if they're small, but larger games that don't fit, I just kind of put in there. As of right now, you might not believe it, but this is holding about 11 games, of which 5 are the traditional larger size boxes. So this is extremely light, waterproof, convenient, and they come in multiple sizes. So depending on the size of your collection, you can have different size containers. For me, personally, I usually take about 2 this size because they're very easy for me to carry and just throw in a cart or in my car and take to a gaming group. So I always bring the party with at least 11 to 18 different games in one of these bad boys. Thank you, friends of the blend, and have a great day.
friends of the blend, Baker here from Board Online, Board Offline. This week I'm going to skip the portion of the show out of respect for requests from Aaron. I'm not going to tell you that we're talking about gaming on the go this week because presumably everybody else has already done that. Instead, let's get right into the segment. When I found out what the segment was this week, I immediately thought of two games. The first was The Resistance. Now, this game is probably pretty obvious for a lot of people. It's small, it's compact. If you use just the base game for Resistance, it's very small. It takes up about this much room on a table, and then everybody has some cards, and that's it. And the best part about this game is you can get non-gamers and gamers alike to enjoy this because really the rules take about 10 minutes to explain if you're slow at explaining rules. Otherwise, you can probably get done in about 5. And the game itself, I mean, the box says 30 minutes. I played my first time playing Resistance with other people who had never played the game and one person who didn't play games at all, and we didn't have a game go past 15 minutes. The other one, though, is a little bit more unorthodox, probably. I'm talking about Pandemic. And people are going to say, whoa, this is a huge game in terms of carrying around luggage or something like that. And yeah, that's true. But hear me out. With Pandemic, you've got a theme that everyone can relate to. Everyone can really can get behind the idea of fighting off diseases, trying to save the world. And yeah, it's like worst case scenario because you got 4 diseases ravaging the world at the same time. But the rules are fairly simple. You can get people interested who have never played games before. I know that I have certainly had success with most people that I've tried to get to play this game that were not gamers before. And so the reason why I like this game whenever I go places is because it's easy to find people to play it. And that's why I think that Pandemic is a really great game to take on the go, despite the fact that it's fairly large, and is definitely one of the greatest cooperative games of all time. So, with that being said, oh, hey, Zee, hey, I'm just filming my segment for Blender.
One of the greatest?
Well, yeah.
No,
yeah,
it is
it's your
the greatest.
Well, come on now. There's Dead of Winter, Shadows over Camelot, Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Island. There's lots of great cooperative games.
No.
Yes, there are.
It is the greatest because
Okay,
it is
I know it's
the
your
one
favorite.
that has the best weight to length ratio.
Yeah,
It scales the best,
weight
gives you
is
the best puzzle.
It does
Come
scale
on
very
now.
well. It is a good puzzle.
Baker, you
I'm
do
just
remember
saying,
who
it's not-
edits these videos together, don't
Oh, really? That's where we're going with this?
you? Let me hear it.
It's the greatest.
With some feeling.
No, okay, it's
With
the
some
greatest.
feeling.
It's the greatest. Okay, is that
My
good?
finger is on the delete button.
Whoa, okay.
Now.
Okay, it's the greatest. It's the greatest. Is that good? Are we good?
That will suffice for now.
Pandemic, that's why Pandemic is the greatest game for any reason at any time. Yeah. Until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Corner Chat. I'm Mark.
And I'm not Randy.
That's right.
Zee Garcia here. What's going on, folks? And we are, as you may be able to tell, in a hotel room because we are gaming on the go right now. We
That's
are at
right.
the Gamma Trade Show, and we're being joined by a very illustrious guest, Rodney Smith from Watch It Played. You may know him from his wonderful YouTube channel. If you don't know him from there, you should. Rodney,
Check it out.
Well,
welcome.
geez, what a nice introduction.
Welcome to the
Glad to have you,
show.
sir.
If I'd known all corners was like this, I wouldn't have minded so much when Mom said, "Get to the corner." All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, guys. That's very nice.
Yeah,
All right.
good to have you here. So, Rodney,
Yeah.
tell us, what are some of your favorite gaming on the go experiences? You know, traveling with family, with friends, waiting in an airport.
Waiting in an airport, maybe not so much. But you know what? Airplane travel can be kind of fun. I love going to a convention, particularly because you're usually going to, the odds are better. The person seated beside you is probably a gamer going to Gen Con or something like that. And the best part about that, is then you have that glorious extra real estate of a second tray, right? That you can pop down.
Yep.
On the way here to Gamma, me and my buddy, we played Pixel Tactics.
Oh, cool.
So we had to improvise a little bit. We had the deck in our pocket, drawn over here. Just in our pile was the pouch, the seat in front of us, and then we had the trays.
That's a great idea.
That's an awesome idea.
On those flights, people are plugged in. They're just trying to get through the flight, right? But we were like really having a good time. Actually, in this, the cockpit, he comes on like, please put the trays in the upright position. Like, oh no, like we need to wrap this up quick. Come on. So it was a lot of fun.
Great.
Yeah, it's great gaming. And people get to see gaming too outside of like a normal situation, which is kind of fun to kind of share the hobby with people.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
That's a
So
great
you
one.
mentioned Pixel Tactics.
Yeah.
What are some other games that you really like? Little games that are great for gaming on the go. I think I know one you're about to say.
Do you really?
Because I believe you hammered this one quite hard when it came out, and if I'm not mistaken, you're about to drop Red 7.
That's amazing. That is amazing. We did not talk about the
No.
You're right. I was just about to say Red 7. And I actually learned that game on the way to BGGCon on the plane with my buddy who had it.
Nice.
And immediately I was charmed by it. And yeah, I was playing it everywhere. And I think people kind of, wow, this must be Rodney's favorite game. Well, it was just appropriate. So appropriate for that kind of setting. In line, like tapping the person in front. Hey, you want to like learn a new game? It was kind of new, right? It was portable, quick to play. So between lunch, you want to play some Red 7? It's just all the time.
Yeah,
right?
all the
So
time.
I think that portability, right, is such a big factor.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's huge.
And the newness of it too was kind of fun, right? Because people hadn't really played it a lot yet, so that was kind of fun to be able to share.
Yeah.
For sure. Actually, I have one other one here I will mention, just so
All
people
right,
don't think Red 7 is the only one. Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Horrible in the Pocket.
That's a great one.
Another great little one that you can bring in, especially if you have a larger group, right? You can play a game.
It's a really fun game.
Yeah, excellent.
Yep. All right, so Rodney,
Yes.
what are some mechanics that you think really work well for gaming on the go?
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Like, is having a small box a mechanic? I don't think it is.
I don't think
That's probably not it. But I mean, I do think about portability.
Well, something that lets you put the deck of cards in your pocket sure helps.
Yeah,
that does, right?
You mentioned Pixel Tactics. You could actually keep it in your breast pocket. Not a whole lot of games are going to let you do something like that.
See, a lot of games now, there are so many micro games, even in various different genres. So if you've got like an area control and like 8-Minute Empire, right? Or if you want to do like a 4X, you've even got Tiny Epic Kingdoms or something, right? So there's so many different, like the mechanics no longer are limiting, really, to the portability. I know one thing though that concerns me is replaceability. Because one of the flights, again, one of these flight trips, we were playing Omen, the two-player card game.
Yeah.
I got home and realized, I'm missing a card, right? So that's now when I travel, I try to take games that I know if I lose a piece, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a lot about little games. Let's move on past the little games.
Exactly.
What about, and obviously a lot of gaming on the go happens at conventions.
True.
What about games that are really great for conventions, big games?
Yeah, big
that
box.
are great while you're there, but not necessarily something you want to have at home. They really thrive off of that convention vibe and energy. Some of your favorites there?
Well, like, I actually think Mysterium's kind of a nice one because it's a bigger box, but you can, like, for travel, you can just pack that down with the cards and the tokens. Even the tokens could be coins.
Yeah.
You could just use like a quarter, nickel, or a dime with you. But I like that because it's a great kind of con thing. You can get a lot of people around the table having a fun time, and that's sort of been proven. I think, like at BGGCon, that was a huge hit. Everyone wanted to play that game.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, and that's definitely like a bigger box form factor. But I think also sometimes there's games that I don't get to play at home because they're a little more time intensive. They're a little bigger games, and a convention, you've just got a lot of different people that are willing to do different kinds of games, like those heavier Game of Thrones board game type of thing. You know, it's going to be like a good 2-3 hour investment of time, right? And those are some pretty crazy. Like we played, Mark and I played that Forbidden Stars game.
Oh yeah.
That's a big game,
Huge
right?
Game, yeah.
But that was a lot of fun.
Oh, man, it was so much fun. Yeah.
So. Yeah, even if you think about your destination, as long as you got somewhere to go, it's great too. They have a library, you don't have to bring it with you. That's handy too, right? So.
Exactly. All right. Well, Rodney, tell us where can people find out more about you and your show?
Sure. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Watch It Played. All one word. I'm on Twitter. Same thing, at Watch It Played. And hey, listen, I think a good compliment to the Dice Tower. If you watch the Dice Tower and you're excited about a game, you come on over and you can see we have an instructional video for it and learn how to play it there as well. So.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. Find me online. Actually, the next game we're going to be doing is Harbor, which is another small box game. So that may be something even appropriate to this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, Rodney, thanks, man, for being on. We'd love to have you. Check him out online, guys, if you're not doing so yet. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
And until next time, folks, we'll see you at the table.
Hey guys, I bet you're wondering what I'm doing with these nice little pyramid bags. Well, today I'm going to be talking about a designer who does a lot of games that are good for on the go. His name is Andrew Looney from Looney Labs. One of his games that you guys probably know about the most, or his most popular game, is called Flux. There's many versions of the game that have been out. It's a little simple card game, a little deck. You could, you're playing, you're changing rules. It's a very simple game, but a lot of people like it. It's not my favorite, but it's not a bad game. It's something that you might want to enjoy if you need something short on the go. He's also done a few other games. Lunacy, which is a speed-like game. Just Desserts is his newest game, and he also did a game called Seven Dragons, which is really good. It's a nice little card-laying tile game. But my favorite game of his, as you can see from these, is something called his Pyramid System. He originally started with the game Ice House, and Ice House is this great game where you're putting the pyramids, moving them around on the table, and you with the pyramids you play around, you move them around. He's made a lot of other games for it: Zendo, Ice Dice, the Pink Hijinks, Treehouse, a bunch of little games, and he has these really great little pieces here. I mean, how great are these little pyramids that he uses? He also has a book with it called Playing with Pyramids. So you could literally take this with you wherever you want to go. You take these little pyramids, the little book Playing with Pyramids, and you could have great gaming on the go from a really good designer, Andrew Looney.
For today's Quirky Game, we're going to be taking a look at a game called Compatibility. Looks like that. And this is a party game, basically, in which you are attempting to match cards with a partner. And you're given a category, you have a stack of cards with many different things on them. Your partner has an identical deck, and you're trying to match them based on some category. Let's take a look here. You have these little cards, and they have a bunch of categories on them. You would roll a die normally. It would give you something. Let's say I rolled a 3. It says toy. And so you go through this deck and you find some cards that you think fit that description. There's one I already have in my head, in fact. Alright, this would probably be the first one I pick, and then you arrange them. So this might be my number 1 pick. And if I match with that partner of mine, then we get some points, and if we match, let's say you pick 5 cards and you organize them by strength. If we both have the same number 1, we get more points than if my 1 is their 3. So that's basically the game. However, I think the value in this game, besides being a great party game, okay, I think it's a great game for gaming on the go because you can take the game, you can leave the board. Let me see if I can get this open here. Board, leave it at home, take these decks of cards for each player in the car, take a stack of these little bits, and then while someone else is driving, everybody else can basically be playing. And so flip a card, pick whichever one you want, really. Rage. I like that. And then everybody has a deck of cards, and all they need to do is really look through your cards. It's a great conversation piece. It's a great activity for the car. You don't need to keep score. You just see what people picked. You get talking about, wow, why would you pick that as your number 1? That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. And it's great. It's a great game to just have an activity to do while you're driving somewhere, while you're waiting somewhere. I think that, besides the game being a great party game, like I said, I think that is a huge value that is added to this game if you simply take it out of its typical context, So as a card game, as a travel game, a fantastic activity, a fantastic conversation piece, just a really neat bunch of cards basically to take on the road with you when you're driving somewhere and you're going to need something to do. Compatibility, I highly recommend it. Check it out on the go, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hey folks, welcome back to Real Talk with Sam. And just to recap, I'm sure you're probably already aware, I don't even mean to waste any more of your time, but we're talking about gaming on the go. You know, taking games with you when you go to different places out in the community and that type of stuff, and gaming while you're out there. Well, here's a couple of the ideas that I had talking about gaming on the go. Well, as you can see, I am ready and set for my day in the park. I've got my TI-3, my Dust Tactics, and my set of Heroescape. I am kicking it with my gaming on the go, y'all. But then again, hey, maybe I'm not in the mood for TI-3 or Dust Tactics or Heroescape. Maybe I'm trying to scratch that World War II itch. Well, here we go. The Days of Wonder campaign bag from Memoir 44. Check this bad boy out. Has everything you could possibly need for gaming on the go. Memoir. Woo! It is set, ready to go. Got my maps in here. Yeah, baby. Cards, expansion packs, dice, you name it. And Memoir 44 is ready to go whenever you want to go. Well, as you might have caught on to by now, my idea of gaming on the go is probably not what your idea of gaming on the go or anybody else's idea of gaming on the go is. I anticipated this, and there's a guy from the Dice Tower past who had the skinny on gaming on the go, and I asked him to help me out with my segment today. So take it away, Captain.
Hey, it's the Captain here. Welcome back to Carry On. Well, I'm home from my deployment, but I'm still traveling a lot, which means I still need some games for the go. Sam asked me to talk about a couple of my favorites. I'm not going to go over any of the ones I've done in the past, but here's a couple of new ones. Now, I could give you just one or two games, but instead I'm going to mention a couple of series. The first one is a series put out by Dice Hate Me Games. They call them their Rabbit lineup because they're quite small. They actually originally published these as a competition. Anyways, there's 6 different ones out there. I only own 5 of them. All of these games are really great because, first of all, the size. You can just put them right in your pocket, in your glove box, and they're a lot of fun. Now, the caveat is, with each one of these, I play with my wife. They're really great as 2-player games, but I'm not sure if they necessarily scale the best. Out of the 6 of them out there, the ones that I'd really recommend is Brewcrafters, the traveling card game. It's the small brother to the full-size Brewcrafters. Another one that we really like is the Isle of Trains. So if you want something that's just small that you can easily put in your glove compartment, these are great ones to take with you. And you don't even have to keep the little box. You can just put them inside of a deck box. The other series I want to mention, Griffin and Eagle Games had a bookshelf series. Now, they are really great games from wonderful designers, but recently they republished them in travel edition sizes. Now, there's quite a few of the games out there, but you can go onto Board Game Geek's store and still buy quite a few of these. You can get everything from Money, Masters Gallery, Gem Collectors, Looting London, High Society, but my favorite, by far, is For Sale. As you can see, it's really just the size of a small deck. These are really wonderful games, and actually I like this edition even better because instead of the larger money pieces, they're really small little chits. It's a lot easier for you to hide the money that you have. Well, I hope that's helpful. Hopefully there'll be another gaming on the go in the future, but for now I'm going to hand it back to Sam. Carry on.
Before some of you might cry foul here, please keep in mind, and I hope you can find it within your heart to appreciate the fact that I was keeping your best interests in mind, not just trying to pull the wool over your eyes, as it were. I hope that you enjoyed the Captain's perspective, and go check out some of his games. Go check out some of the older Breakfast episodes, because he was a contributor for a good long while on the Board Game Breakfast. So go check him out over there. Thanks again, Captain. Carry on, sir. And for all you other friends of the blend out there, remember, just trying to keep it real, folks.
You've been waiting for this night all week, and finally it's here. Date night. Well, maybe you want to bring a little game along. Engage in a little social activity, if you would. Well, today on Board Games Meet ... we're taking a look at date night. Let's start off easy. You don't have a lot of room, which is a given for pretty much all of these games, and you also don't want to play something competitive. You want to just relax, enjoy a game together, fighting for a similar cause. In that case, I recommend you check out Onirim. Cute little card game, very easy to teach, easy to play together, and it's going to give you a lot of replayability just in case the night extends itself. One thing you want to avoid is a little game like Roll in Japan. No, not because it's a bad game. It's actually a great little game, and I really enjoy it. But while you play it, you're basically not even looking at each other. There's no need to talk. So in its place, I recommend something like Brave Rats. Really quick, about 5 minutes. You can play this while waiting for dinner, and you'll be engaged the entire time, even get some laughs out of it. Let's say you just want to take it easy tonight. You're going to go down to the local bookstore, maybe enjoy a coffee, maybe even play some cards. In that case, check out Paperback. It's going to fit the setting, it's going to probably fit the mood, and it's a great deck building game that you'll be able to enjoy over a nice cup of coffee. Let's say you're going somewhere windy, maybe even the beach. You can play on the sand. Well, you're going to need something like this, Hive. All the bits are plastic in the game. It makes for an excellent head-to-head competition. You can enjoy, you can laugh, and you don't have to worry about any damage to the game while you enjoy the sand, the beach, and the breeze. Let's say tonight instead is double date night. Well, in that case, I do not recommend this game. It's a little stereotypical, feels a little bit forced, and honestly, you want your night to be a little more memorable than that. You can do better. Instead, I recommend this one, Sky Tangle. Effortlessly gorgeous, simple card play, plays quickly, and you play in teams of 2 in this one if you play with 4, so you'll be able to play on each other, help your partner out, and have a great night. Let's say double date night is happening right at home. Well, in that case, you don't have to worry so much about portability, and I recommend you check out this one, Witness. A really fun deduction game, takes about 15 minutes, and the best part, you'll be whispering in your date's ear, so have fun solving the puzzle. Or not. Hopefully, some of these will be helpful while you're trying to relax together. And don't forget, ultimately, have fun, keep it short and quick, avoid the cliches, and above all else, it's about the date, not about the game. Have fun. That is our show, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. A big thank you to my contributors, as always. And please make sure you come back in 2 weeks when we're going to be talking party time. Talking all about party games. Games that are good for mixed groups. Games that are good as a way to break the ice. Maybe impromptu gatherings. Whoa, you can pull a game out. All sorts of games. So, thank you for watching once again. And as always, stay a friend of the blend. See ya.